31. Joe's walk in the park.
It was a beautiful day. Joe went to the park. There were people everywhere. Joe saw many things. He saw a boy riding a bike. He saw a girl swinging on a swing. He saw a family having a picnic. He saw a man playing the guitar. It was a happy sight. Joe took a deep breath. The air was fresh. The smell of flowers was in the air. The trees were swaying in the wind. Joe felt so alive. Joe heard a bell. He looked around and saw the ice cream man. He reached in his pockets. He grabbed $3. "Hey, ice cream man!" Joe yelled. The ice cream man stopped and turned around. He walked towards Joe. "One ice cream, please," Joe said. The ice cream man handed Joe an ice cream bar. "Thank you," said the ice cream man. Joe paid and went on his way. It was a sunny day. Everything was perfect.
32. Meeting a jazz artist at a record store.
She went inside the music store. The music store sold all kinds of things. It sold records, compact discs, posters, and clothing. She loved listening to music. Her favorite kind of music was jazz. She collected old jazz records. Her collection had hundreds of records. She started collecting records at a young age. She was 15 when she got her first jazz record. Her dad had given it to her. It was a birthday present. She fell in love with jazz music that day. There was a special guest at the music store. He was a famous jazz artist. She was excited to see him. She owned all his records. His name was Miles Davis. He was a musical genius. She brought one of his records. It was her favorite record. There was a line to see the jazz artist. She waited in line. She met Miles Davis. He smiled and signed her record. She could not believe what had happened.
33. Old man crosses the street.
A man was crossing the street. He was an elderly man. He walked like a turtle. It took him a long time to cross every day. He crossed the same street. Every time he took a long time. The cross lights turned green. He was still crossing the street. Cars would honk at him. The man did not care. He could not cross any faster. "Where is that man going?" people would ask. No one knew where he went. The man walked with a cane. He had white hair and glasses. He crossed the street one day. A boy was standing on the corner. "Where are you going?" the boy asked. "I don't know," replied the man. The old man was lost. Somehow he would find his way back home every day.
34. Waiting for a friend in the cold.
It was a cold day. The wind was blowing. He was in his car. He was waiting for his friend. His whole body was shivering. He turned on the car's heater. It started heating the car. Suddenly, it stopped. He turned it on again, but the heater turned off again. It had stopped working. He was really cold. He had a sweater on, but it was not enough. He forgot to wear his jacket. How could I warm myself? He thought to himself. He remembered he had something in his trunk. He opened the car door and stepped out. It was even colder outside the car. There was no one outside. He opened his car trunk. There was a jacket. The jacket was old and smelly. He did not care. It was so cold. He put on the jacket. He went back inside the car. His friend finally arrived.
35. Shopping at the mall.
He went to the mall. He needed clothes to wear. Summer was nearing. He brought a list. It was a list of clothes to buy. He looked at the list. He needed t-shirts. He entered a store. The name of the store was Summer Shirts. He bought 10 shirts. They were different colors. 3 of the shirts were blue. Another 3 were red. 2 of the shirts were white. The last 2 were black. He crossed shirts off his list. He needed pants. He walked into a store. The name of the store was Fancy Pants. He purchased 5 pairs of pants. 2 pants were blue jeans. Another 2 were tan slacks. The last ones were brown khakis. He crossed pants off his list. He just needed shoes. He walked into a shoe store. He saw sandals. He bought sandals instead of regular shoes. He was now ready for summer.